All right, sir, I'm detecting a bit of an attitude and I've had a bit of problem with you all day long. I'd suggest you kind of take a deep breath and try to get rid of the attitude, because then if you don't, you may cause me to have to get an attitude too.
Well,
So tell
likewise,
me,
take that deep breath. Do the same thing. You know what I mean?
excuse me.
I said same. Do the same thing. Take that deep breath. Goose fraba.
All right, sir, I'm detecting a bit of an attitude and I've had a bit of problem with you all day long. I'd suggest you kind of take a deep breath and try to get rid of the attitude, because then if you don't, you may cause me to have to get an attitude too.
Well,
So tell
likewise,
me,
take that deep breath. Do the same thing. You know what I mean?
excuse me.
I said same. Do the same thing. Take that deep breath. Goose fraba.
All right, Mr. Phillips, do you know what my title is?
I do, but that doesn't give you the right to belittle me or anybody else in your court.
All
You
right,
have a code of conduct and
okay,
ethics you have to follow.
I am finding your conduct contemptuous because you're interfering and disrespecting the process and the court. You are hereby fined for direct contempt of court, $100 cash payable in 1 week to the clerk of the district court.
That's fine.
And if I have any more problem with you, it's going to go up a little bit more. And if I have any more problem with you, you can go to jail over it.
I know this is being recorded, so I would like a copy of this because I'm going to take this to an attorney. That's fine.
$500 cash for direct court,
That's
and
fine.
I am ordering you to surrender.
Wow. Right out of the gate, the judge is done with the attitude. Notice how quickly she escalates, from a warning about taking a deep breath to an actual contempt fine and an order to surrender. That's not normal courtroom banter. Judges rarely drop contempt that fast unless someone has been pushing buttons all day. This tells us we're not dealing with just a traffic case. This is a man who's been disrespecting the system from the start.
Informed through my attorney.
I think we're ready for William Wayne Phillips and Attorney Zolator.
Okay, let me get them in here.
All right, thank you. All right, we are on the record in 2024 TR 1376, State of Kansas versus William Wayne Phillips. Please announce appearances.
Jared McGee on behalf of the state.
And please, the court, Mr. Williams appears in person with counsel Kevin Zolator.
Hang on.
This matter is set for bench trial today. And Mr. Regier, I see, has subpoenaed Trooper Andrew Lieber, who has been with us since 1:30. Now then, Mr. Zolator, does your client still wish to exercise his right to a trial?
No, Your Honor, we're requesting a continuance.
And for what reason?
We were just recently retained, I think, a few weeks ago.
Well, this case originated with some kind of traffic stop, May 21st of 2024. The defendant had first appearance August 14th of 24.
Here's the real problem. The defendant keeps stalling. Every judge before told him to get a lawyer, be ready, and show up. But months later, he's still making excuses. Continuances are normal, but judges don't like games. And this defendant has been playing games with 3 different judges. That history explains the tension we're seeing now.
As recently as within the last 24 hours on the outstanding discovery issue, I would anticipate that being resolved in a timely fashion.
So we've had this bench trial set all this time, and they finally had a communication with him about discovery the evening before. Yes, I am frustrated. This is not the way cases are handled or to be handled, particularly in this case where the defendant has been told by multiple judges that we would have a trial. Judge Rickey said he said it. Let me get my judge. Judge Rickey told him he was setting it for jury trial with me, and now I strike that. Judge Lee told him it was going to be set for jury trial. This has just been, he's seen 3 judges over the course of a number of months. He's told each of us he was going to hire his attorney. And now we come in here after he was specifically told to be ready to go to trial today, and he's not. And The reason you all know, I'm sure, that I am expressing frustration with this defendant is because he cannot do what courts tell him to do, according to my experience with him. And let's put that camera over there a little bit further so he can participate in these hearings. This defendant has told me in no uncertain ways that he doesn't have to give me what I ask for. He won't do it. He does not have to appear when I tell him to, and he has told me he won't appear when I tell him to. He has called me names, referred to me in a negative light, and he just does not seem to appreciate the judicial authority of me, of Chief Judge Ricky, or Judge Lee. He does not do anything any of us tell him to do, except I am impressed he shows up today with an attorney, one of which I know is very respectable and does do what he says he's going to do. So we are making progress.
To that end, Your Honor, at some point.
This is raw frustration. Judges almost never talk this openly about a defendant's behavior across multiple courts. But here, the judge calls him out for trampling on the judicial system, mocking authority, and even insulting judges personally. That's rare and powerful because it shows just how far this man has pushed the boundaries.
Both dates and time. He needs to appear at the courthouse. I cannot trust him not to appear at the courthouse. So make sure he's here at least at the courthouse. Then if you want to be with him in person, that's fine too. Okay, so continued on your bond with those conditions. Anything else before we get to the other point at hand?
No,
No.
that's fine, Your Honor.
All right, now the defendant was found in contempt multiple times and still wouldn't quit disrespecting and disobeying the court until eventually he was ordered to reappear later the same day in person at 2:30 p.m. He told me he wasn't going to. He wouldn't tell me where he lived, where he worked, blatantly refused to answer any questions of his whereabouts or anything I asked of him. He continued to smoke during the Zoom, even though he'd been told not to. He continued to eat and take an enormous amount of drinks. And he continued to get in and out of his truck and walk around a job site, take his hard hat on, take it off, walk all about, all during other defendants' hearings. And then when his case was called, that's when he started becoming blatantly, verbally disrespectful and telling the court how to do its job and not do its job. Throughout the docket, he was highly disrespectful and disruptive. He would talk over the court. He would make rude, personal, insulting, and disrespectful comments about and to the court. And ultimately, he was found in contempt to the point that he'd earned $500 in fines, and he was told to get that paid within a set time that he did not. He was told to appear later that day at 2:30 in person, which he did not. And then he saw Judge Ricky, Chief Judge David Ricky, on September 11th. And Judge Ricky found that he still had not paid the $500. And he gave him 1 week to get it paid. And in fact, he gave him an OR bond.
If you thought it was bad, listen to this. Smoking on Zoom, eating, walking around a job site, hard hat on and off, acting like court is some background noise. That's not just disrespect. That's contempt at a whole new level. Imagine being another defendant waiting for your turn, and this guy is strolling around like he's in a YouTube vlog. No wonder the judge is furious.
As he told me he wasn't going to do and didn't, even though I ordered it. So let's start with why he hasn't paid, followed by why he didn't follow my order to appear. Counsel?
Well, first, Your Honor, I do know that he would like to apologize to you if you'd allow him to do that. And he doesn't have an explanation that's going to justify his conduct, nor is he going to try to. But I know he wants to apologize. I mean, the money's one thing. He doesn't have a lot of money, but his conduct is something he can't control no matter what. If you allow him the opportunity to address you, I think we'd like to start there if that's okay with Your Honor.
Well, normally I appreciate a kind apology, but frankly, I'm not sure it's going to be sincere, and I don't want it unless it's sincere, Mr. Zolator. I sense if he makes an apology, it's going to be because his attorney told him that he needs to do that.
Well, Your Honor, I would throw it at your feet, let him apologize, and whether you find it sincere or not, I mean, I can't make that judgment for you. I think you know that, but I'm not trying to speak for you. I'm not sure what else I'm supposed to do other than let him. I mean, I will stand away and let him make his remarks.
All right, go ahead, Mr. Phillips.
I would just like to say I am very sorry for my actions that day. Again, me apologizing doesn't give my actions justification in any means or in any grounds. I disrespected you, your court, your officer here, the DA, and I've been under a lot of stress working out of town, very many hours with very little pay, and there's no excuse for it. I just more bad things happening combinedly, and it all came out in the very wrong place, wrong time with the wrong person. And I am very sincere in my apologies. Not when all this happened, I wanted to apologize, and even if you go ahead and read the other cases, when the other judge sentenced me when I was in Butler County, I was even apologizing then. I think I had the same district attorney there.
Finally, we see a different tone. The defendant apologizes. He blames stress, long hours, low pay. But here's the thing. Apologies in court are tricky. Was it genuine? Or just coached by his lawyer? The judge even says, I don't want it unless it's sincere. That tells you trust is already gone.
To court because you were working in Independence, Kansas. And she explained to you that you could appear by Zoom and gave you the codes. And we weren't sure based on your conversation that you were going to appear, but you did appear by Zoom, and then the rest of it went from there. So why did you not, well, strike that, I don't. You still have not paid the $500, and no matter how sorry you are, your conduct was outrageous, and it's not going to be just excused. You've had since August 14th to pay that. You gave me the impression that you were a powerful employee of a well-to-do company and you were making good money, that you emphasized you were the supervisor. And you showed me by walking around that you did have a crew there. Now you're saying you're underpaid. Are you going to offer the underpayment as justification for not following my order or Chief Judge Ricky's to get that paid?
She's asking you why you haven't paid.
No, Your Honor. When we were in court that day, you said I had to pay it or do 3 days in jail. And that's the whole reason. I mean, if you go back in the Zoom videos,
That was that your understanding?
that was my understanding. That was my sincere understanding. So when I went back in front of that judge, I was asking the same questions, like, do I still have to pay this, or what's going on? Because it was 3 days, I did 6. I just don't understand. And he said, we're gonna let you decide that, because I'm still willing to pay it, but my understanding.
Excuse me, sir, that is what the third judge said. Chief Judge Ricky told you September 11th, you would pay it within 1 week. He didn't give you any jail time. And I don't think I did either, because I told you to be here that day at 2:30 and you didn't show up or pay. So I don't buy that you misunderstood and that somewhere are you saying?
This is where excuses fall apart. First, he claims he thought jail time erased the fine. Then he admits confusion. But judges don't buy confusion. Court orders are crystal clear. He had months to pay $500. Instead, he paid for a lawyer, but not his contempt fines. That speaks louder than his apology.
I understand that, but this all resulted from his behavior that day. And I hope at least I did find that sincere, but maybe you don't, of the way his conduct, and he can't excuse that. The money, it sounds like he was confused whether you buy that or not. I don't know. But he did do 6 days on a driving while suspended case. It normally carries a 2-day minimum. And that's, well, yeah, but actual serve time normal anyways.
All right, we won't get into that. Okay. Well, I think it's clear that I ordered him to pay $500 and it is well past the date he was to pay it. I think it's clear Judge Ricky told him to pay it. It's not what he thinks, it's what the judge says. So is he gonna pay that today, counsel?
He does not have $500 today. It doesn't sound like.
I could pay something.
Can you pay anything?
I could pay something.
Well, you're able to pay a pretty prestigious attorney there, and you're able to talk the judge into giving you $1,000 OR bond so that you can pay it, and you still haven't paid it. I question your sincerity if you intend to pay it. I thought somebody was implying you had someone there to help you pay it.
No, I was talking, if you can give me a second, Your Honor.
All right,
Your Honor, I'm being told they can make a $200 payment today.
and the other
And then
30,
they can pay that within, if you give them 30 days, they'd have the other 300 paid off.
the time he spent in jail was for failing to appear at a designated court date. It doesn't address necessarily any subsequent contempt. I will allow him to pay the $200 today with the remaining $3 to be paid.
Here comes the lifeline. $200 today, $300 in 30 days. The judge makes it brutally clear, no more second chances. This is his final shot before jail. And notice, the judge is still skeptical. She doesn't trust his word.
Until I see how he behaves from this day forward on this case and whether he pays as ordered. And this is the last one. He's going to be doing more contempt jail time if he doesn't get that paid as ordered in 30 days.
Understood.
Okay? So apparently he will stay out on his $1,000 OR bond that he convinced Judge Ricky to issue if he had that paid within a week. And he didn't. Anything else, counsel, that we need to address?
Not for purposes of today's hearing, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor, thank you.
All right. Mr. Phillips, are you still employed by that same company?
Yes, Your Honor.
And that's how it ends. The defendant stays out, for now. But this is a textbook case of how arrogance in court can spiral into contempt, fines, and potential jail time. If he misses one more payment or court date, it's over. Judges don't forget, and this judge definitely won't.